What's going on, everybody? Blazing here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And I think Plarium is playing a really, really bad joke on us. So before I go through these champions, let's go ahead and let's take a... Oh, we got the first offer. Let's go ahead and take a look at... I'm laughing because it's comical, guys. It's very, very comical. Okay. So yesterday we got the, hey, here's what's going to happen on Monday. Be prepared. And the way it read is it was actually going to be like a really good summoning pool. So for a limited time, Monday, March 3rd until Friday, March 7th, we're launching a Dwarves Summoning Pool event, which will give you an amazing chance. I don't know how amazing it is, but yeah, to get your hands on some of Raid's best, best champions from the Dwarves faction, including Admiral Blacktusk. Now, Admiral Blacktusk is actually a really freaking solid Unity champion. I want him. I really, really want him. And would I break the bank for him? I think I'd go as far as I did for Aislinn. And if you guys remember, I went pretty hard for Aislinn. It was like 1,600 pulls or 1,600 shards, which I guess doesn't mean much if it's like 40, but anyways, it was a lot. It was a lot, okay? I went all in. Now, the problem with this is the summoning pools that they gave us for the rest of the champions is absolute crap. 100% crap. There is not one of these champs that I would say, again, barring Admiral Blacktusk, that is worth the putting in the category of best champions for the faction. All of the best champions for this faction are not in here. Do you know why? Because they are void. This is an absolute just bad joke on Plarium side. I can't make an argument for any of these champions to say, yeah, you know what? Okay, even if I don't get him, I'm happy to get one of these. She's probably the only one, right? Kira the Watcher, because of the Lady Mikage fusion. So if you get her, cool. Isabel, probably the same thing. If you get her, cool, because you need the Lady Mikage fusion. But none of these champions are really worth it. None of these champions are really worth it. Herndig, I mean, he's so outdated that Thor came in and just absolutely destroys everything. You don't need him. Brogni, they killed with the shields, right? Putting a cap on. Beauregard, I don't think I've ever leveled him. I think he's probably sitting in my vault. On this account, actually, I think I have like a +2 or +3 Mountain King, or one of my accounts. And again, I've put some crazy stupid gear on him. Still, just a single target does not work, right? Definitely needs a buff. Goffred is probably one of the better ones in the pool. And that's only because he's got a stun, right? But again, if Polymorph is out, you're pretty much SOL. Molly Tankard could be used for Hydra. Don't get me wrong. She's a pretty solid champion there. But still, there are better choices out there. She comes in with the Provoke, right? And the, the Provoke and the Reflect and the turn meter boost. So she does do a few good things there. But again, not something to break the bank. And then Samar Gem Curse is absolutely trash. I don't think I would ever... I leveled him, but I don't think I would ever put masteries or anything else. And it's only because he was able to do Bommel. As for the epics here, I think the only one here that I would say is worth anything is Melga. You got Geomancer, and then probably Morgan Bronzelock. Other than that, all of this is just trash. All of this is just empowerment or food for champions that you're never going to fucking use. Okay? Now let's take a real quick peek here in the shop and let's figure out exactly what Plarium is charging for these summons. Okay. So $10 for 40. All right. So back to what it's actually going to cost us for just let's say we get 2 pity system, right? During the event, the Mercy system will also be activated, will gradually increase to the chance of summoning a legend champion if you reach 20 summons from the shard pool without receiving a legendary. Okay, so let's say because these are borderline a scam, okay, at $40 per, or $10 per 40, and we need 20 summons, that's $200, right? Let me make sure. 40, or let's go back, sorry. 20 times by 9.99 is $200 to summon one of these shitty champions. And it's not even guaranteed that we're going to get the headline champion, because the headline champion, we only have a 2% chance. Now, on the off chance that, you know what, we've got to do 2%, so we could essentially summon what? If I'm not mistaken, 50 times, right? Because we only have a 2% chance. So times that by 50, $10,000. That's crazy. Now, as somebody who has heavily spent in this game, I would never do that. I think the most I've ever done is spent maybe 1,000 on these shards. And that was for me to get Asen because I wanted him so bad. He was the first Unity champion that came out there. And he actually did help me out with one of my teams for my arena and stuff, right? So I use him pretty often. I use him almost all the time. Was he, you know, do I regret that? Of course, 100%. But it definitely, you know, it was something I wanted to do. But is this pool worth summoning? Honestly, no, not at all. And if you do and are the one that is going to summon for this, the problem with this is he is a Unity champion, and to make him work, you need to put a lot in there, right? The skill kit itself, I mean, let's take a look real quick. Removes all debuffs from the target allies, and then places enemies, and then places a stun debuff for 2 turns. Fills this champion's turn meter by 50%. Fills this champion's turn meter by an additional 10% for each buff removed, right? The buff removal and the stun cannot be resisted, so no accuracy needed. Resets the cooldown of this skill when an enemy is killed while under a stun, right? And then allies deal double damage to the targets under a stun debuff. Books down to a 3-turn cooldown. It's a really great ability. The A3, or the A2, sorry, removes all debuff from all allies and teams up with all allies to a single target enemy. Joining the attack will use their default skill. So this works really good. Like if you have a couple of G-nuts in there, that would definitely be helpful. And then the passive here, allies will counterattack whenever they lose 10% or more of their max HP from a single hit. If there are multiple champions with this skill, only one will activate. Whenever an ally places a Fear, True Fear, Freeze, Provoke, Sleep, Stun, or Petrification debuff, fills his champion's turn meter by 20%. Once per skill. If there are multiple champions, only one will work. 2, whenever an ally is attacked and has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decreased resistance debuff and a 30% decreased speed on the attacker for 1 turn. If the ally is under a block damage, unkillable, ally protection, or stone skin buff, the chances increase to 100%, right? And then at the start of each round, places a stone skin buff on all allies for 1 turn. Now this right here is the most crazy freaking part, but you need 3 faction champions. So to make this work for arena, it's really hard, right? Mostly because the arena doesn't really, short of just Arnon, he is the only champion that is used in arena, right? No one else here is used in arena. Maybe Tormund, but you're not going to use Senna. You're not going to use G-Nut. So it's just really shitty. He's a PvE champion. He's not a PvP champion. And to break the bank for him is 100% not worth it. Now, what I will do, again, and I'll stop ranting after this, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get myself my Sand Devil one done. I'm going to save it for the next summoning pool. Hopefully that one is better and is not as shit as this one is and as the last one is. But if I'm wrong, you guys let me know in the comments down below. Am I missing something? Am I right? Am I wrong? Again, If I'm wrong, maybe we'll go, but I can't make a case used for any of these champions to say they're worth $200. Again, are these champions great? Are they not? Up to you guys. Maybe you can change my mind. Let me know in the comments down below. Join us every Sunday, 2 p.m. EST for the Knights of Teleria podcast, where we dive into the world of Raid Shadow Legends, discussing everything from free-to-play strategies to pay-to-win insight, and covering the journey from early to mid-game. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned player, we have something for everyone. Don't miss out on the Knights of Teleria podcast, the only podcast for Raid Shadow Legends. And as always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other, and I'll catch you guys next time.